Well, as you can see, Benjamin Ites is already champing at the bit, and the grid formation was completely unsatisfactory, which is why the safety car has stayed out. Now, in that situation, you and I both know, Miguel, the cars are supposed to be absolutely side by side, and they really weren't.
Yeah, was something happened there. I don't know exactly, but yeah, that's the problem. You are really close, and they are really slowing down too much. So they have an extra formation lap, and differences are in the second sector.
And this is how... Ooh. It's all about those track limits, and actually, something I said right at the start of the program is that this track is so...
So, 3 minutes to go, and we'll see.
Well, there's... Yeah. That looks like a wheel that's come off, or a tyre that has come off, and waved yellows now across the timing line as Benjamin Ites on the inside of Cooper McNeil. Now... Did he make that overtake just as the safety car was called for, Miguel?
Doesn't look like, because
here it is.
He had the puncture probably, and yeah.
Yeah, the car. I mean, the tyre let go, didn't it? And in fairness, yeah. it really. Gandor chasing down Neil Gahani, and there you can see in replay. And wow, that was a scary moment. And I think that right behind so Ziad Gandor is behind Neil Gahani at the moment. As he tries to come back at him, oh my goodness me! Oh, James. I don't get a lot right, you know, but on that occasion that was Dave Musial that had gone round. I think that was a completely separate incident, wasn't it? But... Number one! This could all go horribly wrong, but thankfully, everybody holds it together, and...
You know, it's his fault, but it's quite difficult. I think... So let's see.
There is an argument, perhaps, that Kent Chen didn't know he was there. Because he came across, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Like...
Beg your pardon, that's Andrew Moon. Well, Andrew Moon has already won his championship, so I apologise. But Michael Choi was involved in that incident. And there you can see, that is the Michael Choi car. The 5-double.
And we have the safety car call.
Before even a lap is completed. Now, was that an overtake under the safety car involved in that first incident? So David Dicker there on the inside, and there's just a little bit of contact now from that camera angle. That's impossible to tell. That's a proper T-bone, Tony.
Yeah, we saw similar situations. Yes, the overtake was just way too late, and just the speed. It looks like without the car, the 489 being there, looks like the yellow car would just overshoot the corner straight away. Like he.
Very difficult position. Well, this was the Ernst Kirchmeier and Eric Chung incident, and unfortunately Corinna Gosler got caught up in that as a completely innocent bystander. That was Johnny Lawson, that was a big save, to be fair, for Johnny Lawson to hold on to that. Well, that's not coming out from there now. It'll be up to race control whether they decide. Oh, and that was Eric Chung on the inside of that car, and oh my goodness me. Just caught the back end of Eric Chung's car as that was spun out. Now, race control will decide whether that car can be recovered. Ooh, and Corinna Gosler then having a bit of a go there. I think that was at the Guy 4 car. So very different. And that involved, I think James Wyland was an innocent bystander in that actual. Chris Froggatt is one of those that I said would make some moves in the race. Well, looks like Christian Overgaard got turned around. Applied the brakes, brought the car to a stop, and Frank was assisted into that. To be fair, it looks like it was of his own accord, just got out onto the painted stuff, didn't he? And ran out of grip. Not going to be able to recover from there. So great shame. Racing drivers had quite a lot to do with the design of the 488 car. Let's just pick up on this again, because I certainly didn't see it unfolding. Oh, That looked like Martin was over the back of somebody else's car ahead of him. So from this replay, can we pick any more out of it? No, we just see the Martin Nelson car to the right-hand side of the picture. Here, though, from this angle, just connected with the rear corner, didn't he?
I don't know who it was, but he kind of just jumped to the left. He was already there. Yeah, kind of wasn't his fault, actually.
Going for the gap, and then the gap suddenly wasn't there. Yeah. Out of the race. It looked like a connection there with another lady racer, Corinna Gosner, and those two are out. And
we don't have the image.
No.
I couldn't see the image, but I think race control has a lot of cameras and they saw what happened.
Forgive me, Daniel, a big inter-team back. No, this is Sam Smith ahead of us. So that was, you're right, that was Chris, and you know, we just see. I mean, here we can see it better. I mean, well, there we have it, and you know what that means. With 4.5 minutes on the clock, the car where it's positioned, of course. Well done for spotting that, because I didn't. I kept my eyes on Ingvar Madsen, who was absolutely flying, and Ingvar Madsen managed to get through and take him back to P1 position. We're into a safety car situation already after only not in one lap completed, and Jay Schreidman there making contact, and that meant that Jay Schreidman was spat out into the gravel and would take no further part in the race. Regrettably, the end of his racing season, which is such a shame. However, it was always probably quite likely that that was going to happen. Not necessarily. This is how it happened. All right, sorry, James. It's on the inside of Giuseppe Romelli. He will be. Henrik Janssen now will be rubbing his hands with invisible soap, thinking, "Why, this is going to really give me an opportunity." Henrik Janssen, and oh no! If that could so easily be collected. Drive-through penalty for Giuseppe Romelli for that earlier move, the 555 at final chicane. And here on board, some very, very good avoidance there. That was from the earlier incident where Brad Horseman found himself on the very, very damp grass and tried hard to get the car back, and by shortcutting on the grass, that made the back end of the car pretty loose, to be fair. Now, hopefully everyone will avoid him, but tapping at the bit, as you can see, as we do go green. Ken Abe trying to make a move early on in this race as well. Ernst Kirchmeier just ahead of Tanny Hanna, but they go into turn number one. Tanny Hanna will have the inside line. Here comes Thomas Gosner. There's contact between Tanny Hanna and Ernst Kirchmeier, but Tanny Hanna stays ahead. Thomas Gosner and Kirchmeier collide, and that sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars out into the gravel, and Daniel Jan Benzing and Brian Davis here. Brian Davis to the inside of Jan Benzing. There's contact between the two of them. That spins Davis around. If he can keep it in the tarmac. No, through the gravel he goes. Just manages. As we get a replay of that incident, he did well to keep it right out of the gravel and keep the momentum. It will be to start the final lap here in the world final race, and a mistake from Jay Park to Zap. It's 1/10 because James Wyland's right on the outside of Tanny Hanna now. He'll try and get a switch back here and go underneath him, and he's done it. Tanny Hanna makes a mistake. Has maintained the pressure on Tanny Hanna, as that's a huge mistake. Whew. And this was where Ken Abe, with his quest to get to the inside of Cloud Ceneretti.
And he was lucky that he had a good gap to the car behind, so he still had the same position.
Adam Carroll then kept his cool and managed to, as one car goes around and he's in the gravel, if the car can be Smith, not sure. Louis, one car gets very, very sideways there, I think. But that was the car of Philippe Pret, actually. Exactly how John Megru went in. It's Emanuele Maria Tabacchi on his inside. There was contact between the two of them, and at that point and at that speed, Whilst the gravel tries to do its job and slow the car down, in fairness, he went full on sideways, didn't he? It was side on into the tyre barriers, which of course they absorb the energy one hopes. And John McGrew was really in it, wasn't he? But that was with Christian Overgaard, the importance and the competitiveness of the Ferrari Challenge.
Yeah, but it's more or less wherever you go with racing, there is always somebody that is, let's say, the idea better than you, or the level wherever national or which championship you go, there's always somebody that is really strong, and you need to measure your speed against him or them, and never underestimate the challenge that is going to be.
As well, a yellow flag. So yellow flag at turn number 1, and the reason for that is they believe the car is far enough away, presumably.
Challenge him into one of the best overtaking places. And some more contacts here.
It was just a touch from Christian Overgaard.
Reshaping
there.
another challenge car. New aero balance.
Ironically, that allowed his teammate Fredrik Aspersen to come through on him.
Yeah.
And so there we are. Turn number 1, we have a yellow flag, so clearly no overtaking there. Was that a mistake from Louis? Because
I think it just ran wide at the exit of Arrabbiata. Those are the corners where you really carry a lot of speed, and then he lost the momentum a little bit, because then these cars, one car overtook him, and then side by side with